your game. If you're a defensive end, stay on the edge, contain. And I'm sure that's what Coach Chris talked about this whole week, is being able to just stay inside, keep the runs in between the tackles. Don't let this quarterback get to the outside, and that's something that Mullins has been able to do whenever he's dangerous, whenever he has big games. He's able to get to the edge, and really what I like to say is student body left, student body right, and that's been what they've done this year, is been able to get a lot of runs going, and they get downhill, and whenever it gets going on the run game, it's hard to stop. And hopefully the team can stop that, and I think one of the big players for them is to keep an eye on is Jarrett Jesse, who had a slower game last week. The offensive line, again, came out unenergetic, kind of unenthused. So we'll see how that goes tonight. Homecoming here at Wise Central, so we'll see how they're able to hold up with that as we're 3 minutes until kickoff. Let's go to Mark for the keys to the game.
Well, first off tonight, so I'm having to say the Virginia High defensive line is going to have to be able to penetrate through the offensive line. The Wise Central offensive line was very weak last week in their game against Ridgeview. And if we're able to penetrate that line and be able to break up the RPOs there, we're going to be looking for a good night. The offensive line has to be disciplined and being able to make a play and understanding who's going to have the hybrid in that position set. My third key to the game is whoever's going to be playing that outside linebacker position has to be able to contain the outside edge. Whenever we're able to do that, stop them for a short gain or maybe even a loss there in the backfield, it's going to be a big night for the Bearcats.
It's going to be a fun afternoon. Well, the key matchup again, and every week we seem to get back to this, but it's in the trenches again. Offensive line versus their defensive line and vice versa whenever we're on the defensive side. And if we can have the same game, if we can play the same way Virginia High can the first 3 weeks that we've played, the first 3 weeks tonight, I think we leave here with a win.
We're going to be hard to beat any time that we play as well as we did last week. It was just a
You ran into a buzzsaw last week.
Just a circum of chance last week. And like I said, one big play really just put us behind the 8 ball, and we weren't able to catch up.
So they're looking to bounce back. Both teams coming off of tough losses last week. In the last decade, after the VT game, Virginia High just 3-7. So there's a little bit of a hangover issue after this game. So hopefully, I think the way they played last week, that's not going to be an issue tonight like we went back to. So hopefully that doesn't make it in to being an issue. The 2 games that we've called, Virginia High has actually gotten the ball at halftime because both teams that we've played have won the toss, but both of them have elected to take the ball to open the game, which you have disagreed with. So it'll be interesting tonight to see if that continues, because we always talk about how we want the ball coming out of half, but so far on the drive right after halftime, Virginia High has not scored a point. We have the interception last week, and then the week before went 3 and out coming out of the locker room at half.
And it's the defensive side of the ball coming out of the half, we're very solid. It just seems like the offensive side of the ball, we just seem a little sluggish in getting our tempo back up to where it needs to be.
We'll have the national anthem. We'll go down to the field for it, and we will be right back for the rest of the Bearcat Kickoff Show and take you to kickoff. And here's the national anthem. Band making their way out toward the 50-yard line as everybody's standing up. Good afternoon for football, though. As I know Mark's excited. Another game.
Another notch under the belt.
Another big game here at Wise Central. Next week, of course, is a bye week. Band's still sort of making their way out to the 50, so we'll hang with you here. That way you don't get too bored. How could you get bored? It's time for Bearcat football.
I'm amped, and we're just waiting.
So here's the anthem. We'll go back down to the field. It's time for Bearcat football on Bearcat Radio. We're excited about this one. As we just now finished the national anthem, let's take a quick break, and we'll be right back for the game broadcast on Bearcat Radio.
You're listening to Virginia High Bearcat football on Spreaker Radio.
Welcome back as we get set for kickoff. Here come the Virginia High Bearcats out onto the field as they're decked out in their all-white uniforms, the black numbers. Black numbers on the front and back, black lids with the orange V with a white outline. And here come Wise Central. They're getting set to run out through their signage. They're wearing we got white pants, red tops with white numbers and a black outline around the numbers. Red helmets with that Wise Central logo. Actually, they don't have a logo, I don't think, on the side unless it's really dark. I can't tell.
Doesn't look like it there.
I believe they're logoless, so just solid. No, they've got something on the logo of the helmet. Can't really see it from here as they're getting amped up over there. But sharp look for both teams. They're meeting for the coin toss. We're glad you were able to join us. This is Dylan Hutton and Mark Harr getting set for week 4 of Bearcat football here on Bearcat Radio. We're very excited to bring you football from Norton, Virginia. The band just finished playing for Virginia High, and they're going up to take their seat and get ready for the game. A good crowd here on the Wise Central side of things. A great stadium, all turf, as these two teams are getting ready to play in one of the most scenic stadiums in Southwest Virginia.
It is gorgeous over here to our right. It's just the sun setting over the mountaintops with the overcast. It's gorgeous here tonight.
As they're meeting still for the coin toss. Band still out on the field waiting for the team entrance. Here's the call for the toss. People are still filing in. Looks like Wise Central will receive
and
to
they
open
won the toss there, too. So that's 3 weeks in a row there for us, Philip.
So Central will receive. So we'll see the Bearcat defense on the field to open it up. Bearcats have taken the field. We're waiting on Wise Central. They have their homecoming sign up. Again, homecoming here for the Warriors.
On your feet, Warrior fans.
As they get set to come out, crowd standing up.
The Central Warrior Stadium. Your 2000.
Here they come. Very loud here in the booth. As the cowbells and stuff are ringing. Here they come as we're moments away from kickoff now.
What a little guy in the back there pitching that little.
Both teams, again, 2-1 on the year. Luke Owens, the head coach for Wise Central, former Virginia Tech offensive lineman in the early 2000s. He's 17-19 in his career. Head coach for the Bearcats, Michael Christ, he's in his 5th season, 19-29 in his 5 years at Virginia High. And both coaches know each other. We noted that in the pregame show. Both of them, they had a class together. They majored in the same thing in physical education at Virginia Tech, so both of them know each other pretty well just by that, having a class together in Blacksburg there at Virginia Tech. The band still out on the field is getting set for kickoff. Here come the Bearcats out on the field. Jacob Failer teeing it up here. Just a few seconds away from Bearcat football, and we're very excited. Got to get that sour taste out of our mouth after last week. Jarrett Jesse is back deep with Ben Zidell to receive. The kickoff will be going from right to left as Failer gets set to tee it up. And we're underway. The opening boot goes up to about the 15 and actually lands and bounces and rolls close to the goal line down at the 1, and he'll have to pick it up and return it. And he only gets back to maybe the 1 or 2 yard line, so bad decision there. That was Ben Zidell on the return. He waited on it, and the ball hit in front of him and then skipped all the way to the 1. Didn't go into the end zone, so he had to field it. It's a live ball on the kick, and He might have gotten back to the 2-yard line, so Wise Central is going to be backed up with their backs to the goalpost here to open the game. It doesn't get a whole lot better for that for Pfaler to bounce it in right there.
You know, it looks like he'll give them the ball at the 3-yard line, but even then, a 97-yard drive to open the game, that's going to be very difficult for any team to break out of a hole like that.
They line up with 2 wide receivers to the right and 2 to the left, Wise Central. 1 man in the backfield, that's Jarrett Jesse again. He and Dalton Mullins back there, the main cogs. Handoff up the middle as he gets close to the line of scrimmage. Still haven't got him down. Finally got him maybe a short gain on the play, maybe a yard. It's 2nd down and 9 as we're underway. Thank you for tuning in. It's first drive underway of the ball game. They're at the 4-yard line now on their own 4 to start it. Again, it doesn't get a lot better if you're Virginia High. I'm having to make the trip over here. It's a long way over here. Hour and 10 minutes, 61 miles, and you boot it right there and hold them down at the 1 to open the ball game.
It's exactly how you want to start a game, especially having them backed up in their own end zone. His feet are just lined up right there on the line, so it's a big.
2 to the left, and here's a snap. They're going to hand it off inside to Jesse, and he's drugged down there. As that was Daniel Venture inside, dragging him to the ground. We talked to Venture earlier today. Not Venture, that is
Barlow.
76 Thomas Barlow on the stop. They got 2 or 3, 3rd down and a 5 or 6. The line to gain is the 13-yard line. So 3rd down and 5 from the 8. 2 to the left side, 1 to the right. 2 running backs in the backfield. That's Jesse and Miller. There's a snap to Mullins. He'll hand it straight away to Jesse, and he breaks through to the 30, to the 35, to the 40. Trying to track him down. He's to the 45 on the other side, fighting off some stiff arms. He's drugged down there by Bazell inside the 30, inside the 25-yard line. Eventually is where they're going to mark him. A big gain there on 3rd down and 5 from the 8-yard line. Huge play there on 3rd down.
At the 23-yard line.
Doesn't get a whole lot bigger than that on 3rd down and 5, and this was an offense that was hindered last week by Ridgeview.
About a huge 65-yard gain. That'll turn the tide in a heartbeat.
1st down and 10. The ball's on the 23. So from 3rd and 5, they had to get to the 13. They get a huge gain, 60-some-odd yards. As here's the handoff. They're going to fake it. Mullins keeps. They're able to contain it pretty well. He gets close to 2 yards on the play, maybe 3. Actually, it looks like he got closer to 4 after they got done marking it. So the field position game just switched completely on that one run by Jarrett Jesse.
You know, we mentioned containing the outside, but so far, Wise Central started up the middle and pounded up the middle all night. That's one of the problems from that 3 down linemen in the front there.
2 wide receivers to the left, 1 to the right. They're in the shotgun. Here's the snap. Handoff straight up the middle. That is Jesse again, but this time he gets met by Aaron Rose and a bunch of white jerseys for Virginia High to stop him up. Doesn't get anything. 3rd down and maybe a yard more. 3rd down and 4. The line to gain is inside the 20 at the 18-yard line, or inside the 15 there at the 13-yard line. Sun's starting to go down as these 2-1 teams battle it out. 9:15 to go here in the first quarter. Another shotgun look. 2 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left. There's a snap. Handoff again inside, this time tearing inside. But he's blocked up there short of the 1st down marker. 4th down and a long 2. The ball's right on the 15-yard line. And that was Crabtree on the carry. Number 23. 8:45 to go. Big play here. 4th down and 2, and it looks like they're going to go for it. Bearcats with that 3 down lineman. They're going to switch their ends. 2 wide receivers. They're going to roll out to the left with Mullins. He's just going to try to get it himself.